Facebook group, and what else? YouTube. Yeah. So those four big channels. So, all right. So thanks, Tony, for joining. And we're just having a chat for everybody who's joining live. We're just having a chat. I'm with Tony all the way from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, hometown territory.
Our connection to Edmonton. Yeah, it's so
Yeah,
nice to
yeah.
be on, Doyle. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, no, for sure. And it's the just doing a quick little show because tomorrow is the big day. It's the grand opening for the Strategystorming Strategy Studio and Shop. That's a mouthful, isn't it?
It is
So
a
tomorrow,
mouthful, but it
and
is a
it's
lot.
a
It is a lot.
brainful. It's a brainful too. It's
It
going to be a
is.
brainful. So Tony's
Yeah.
one of the 20 plus speakers that are going to be joining me, and really looking forward to it. So I just want to have a quick little intro and quick little gab about what we're going to be doing tomorrow. So what do you want to talk about tomorrow, Tony? Maybe I should have asked
Well,
you
I
that
mean,
weeks ago when I asked you.
I think, as you know, we always love to do impromptu and
Yeah,
where's today taking us, right? But clearly, I mean, I think that some good things to touch on, are just, where you came to this. I think you got such a good story of how you came to this whole idea of bringing a site like this together. I think there's a lot of value add there, right? And then, we were just talking about this blue sky thinking, right? And we're seeing cycles change. We're seeing a lot of change happening in business, and how do you deal with that? How do you manage it? And I know you've been really crucial to me. Just defining better focus and keeping a better cadence on things of how you're kind of managing and progressing. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about that. Let's
yeah,
talk
no,
about
for
it's
sure.
so super exciting for tomorrow, but yeah,
Yeah,
let's talk to the
yeah, and you're going to be
everybody about that.
yeah, you're going to be joining us at the end of your day and then at the beginning of your day. So Tony's going to come in and join us at the end of the day too. So I'm not sure what I'm getting myself into. It's like I'm starting at 9 a.m. my time and finishing at like 10 p.m. There's no typo there. It's not 9 to 10 a.m. It's 9 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Yeah, and
So,
I'll be there, not the whole time. Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
be with
yeah.
a pillow there at one point.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
might need a pillow from time to time or some snacks and a big jug of water, I guess. Or I might have to move the coffee machine into right beside me.
yeah, yeah.
Another thing I wanted to try out too was I'm just kind of been playing, seeing if I can hack Zoom, and I've got this third camera here, this extra feed, because tomorrow we're going to be showing you some of the actual products and some of the models and how we can actually use them. So I wanted to be able to see. I tried this yesterday during my live yesterday and it didn't actually work, but I want to be able to hopefully use this to see it during the live broadcast as well. So we can see it on Zoom, but we're going to be on Zoom. All the speakers are going to be on Zoom, and everybody's welcome to come and join us on Zoom. But primarily, people will be watching from their channels of LinkedIn and Facebook and that sort of thing. So this didn't work yesterday, but I did try it. So I want to make sure the tech is working. But this is
It
what
works
we're
good
able to
on
do.
Zoom. It does work, and it's a great
Yeah,
message. It's a great focus when you've got a few different areas that you focused in on to further defining like those steps and strategies. And I love how you tie this in from your background in aerospace and just on plotting that progression. But yeah, talk a little bit more about
oh,
that.
thanks. No, thanks, Tony. And that's really kind of, yeah, over the evolution of business and strategy and seeing how things all come into place. I've, my first business out of Winnipeg, good old Winnipeg, in the early
Winter peg,
2000s,
yeah, yeah.
Winterpeg, yeah, the early
Yeah, yeah.
2000s was fundamentally looking at strategy to say, okay, well, how do we build this company from scratch? Like this was like, empty space thinking kind of thing. How can we build this and grow it into, a big company? And we did that. And the way we were able to do that is we had what I called at the time a strategic architecture, which gave us the direction, it gave us the understanding, it gave us kind of that level of detail that you need to be able to progress things, not just a strategy that kind of sits on the on in a PowerPoint or whatever, but being able to use it effectively. And that actually got us to be one of the top 50 fastest growing companies in Canada, one of the number one fastest growing company in all of Manitoba. um, which
Nice.
obviously
Yeah.
isn't a huge province, but you know what, it's still good, and expanding around the world as well. So with licensed operators in the US, into Europe, and then into Australia, which is actually how I found myself here, but that's another story. But ultimately, then speaking and seeing businesses is that fundamentally they didn't really have that sense of, okay, well, how important is a strategy? Well, why do I even need one? It's like, just, you know what, let's just do business by the seat of our pants, which is fine. And guess what, sometimes it works. But think of what you could do if you really kind of had that extra knowledge, that extra understanding, the kind of strategic thinking, as well. So that's really been my focus. And then it's like, well, we need a place to be able to go to understand how, what do I actually need, right? What does my toolkit even look like? Like, you might say strategy, it's like, oh yeah, okay, whatever, blah blah blah, future and stuff like that, chess, and those kinds of words as well. But it's like, no, you got to make it practical, you have to make it sensible, you have to look at how can you actually apply things. So this is that place, strategystorming.co, where you can actually go and you can find these tools for your toolbox. You can explore ways to think differently, and you can use that creative side as well, right, with these kind of tools. And I've got quite a few that it's a long session, but people are invited to come onto Zoom or jump in on the live stream and kind of work throughout the day. I've got a bunch of gifts as well, and I was just showing Tony some of them. There's the Big Sky Strategy whiteboard, which is this thing that I'm rolling out. So you'll actually get a chance to win a couple of these as well. So what you're able to do is we're going to take your concepts and distill it down, right? Divergent thinking, as they call it, to be able to see, okay, what's super important for your business. How do we actually build it, and what's critical? And then how do we elevate that into your final masterpiece of this is your business? And the cool thing about that is that once you've done that, you can actually build it into kind of like a roadmap, a flight plan, a radar, so you can see what's coming as well down the road. So I've got some gifts. The strategy canvas, I'm going to rearrange the camera so it all fits nicely, and so that I can have a little bit easier time
Cool.
with this.
Cool.
But yeah, the 12-page strategy canvas worksheet. So this actually takes you through the steps of using that, and I'm going to be going through this as well. This is going to be a free gift that people can get to build their own on their home as well. And I've got some amazing books as well, from authors from around the world. Daniel Priestley, who won't be able to speak at this one, but hopefully the next one that we have coming up in November.
Cool.
Andrew Griffiths, Australian's best-selling business author. He's going to be actually coming with us as well during
Very
the
cool.
the
Very cool.
presentation. I've got Timothy Hughes, and these are all books that we're going to give away as well. Timothy
Nice.
Hughes has his new version 2 book that's just come out. So I don't have a copy of it, but you'll be able
I
to be put
saw
in
it.
a
I
draw.
just saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. And so
Nice.
he'll be, or we'll be giving that one away. And we have Dave Clare all the way from Perth, Australia, strategy and culture consultant. His book is in the pile. Another one from Andrew. We've got Michael Haynes, who's also going to be speaking. He's from Sydney. Listen, Innovate, Grow. We've got this ridiculously good-looking guy from Perth talking.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I'm familiar. I'm familiar with that one. Yeah, thanks.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So we've got all
Yeah.
that, and with 24 speakers over 12 hours, so it's going to be phenomenal. It's phenomenal. Don't you just love that word?
Phenomenal.
A- And you don't even need to have your 3D glasses. You'll learn everything so that it just works for your business. But what else are we going to be bringing? Lab coats, right?
Lab coats. And really, a lab coat, when you put on a lab coat, you immediately have a different perspective on things, right? Let's go back to when you were in school and you put on a lab coat. You know that things were getting real after you put a lab coat on. You weren't doing anything low key. Things were about to get serious. I think just the mental mindset of a strategy lab coat puts you into a perspective of we're taking something on and we're going to create something that matters.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's a mindset thing. And unleash your real superheroes don't wear capes, right? They wear a strategy lab coats that you can actually
Yeah.
think,
Yes.
and you can do it without putting on tights, unless Tony, you said you sometimes like to put on tights. So
No. You first. Yeah.
so it allows you to be able to think differently and be creative, and obviously look, have some fun too. I think business is pretty serious enough, um that we got to look at how can we actually make it practical, how can we make it useful, but how can we make it a little bit more interesting. And that's what I wanted to do here too, is create those opportunities to be a little bit creative, to think a little bit differently and think strategically and understand how to do that too, as well. So that's why I'm bringing people together, is like, let's learn from some of these experts in the field, Tony.
Wow.
um
It's almost like if you just had a strategy storming session, that would really help people, eh?
yeah, no, for
Like if you
sure.
just had something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, fantastic. That it is. And
One thing I wanted to show you too quickly before we wrap up
yeah,
was the oh, it doesn't show. I've got I'll
it
have to
does. I
figure
think
out
it
the
does if you
optics.
put it right in front of you. Yeah,
No.
it does blue
Okay.
screen
So
out
anyway,
there.
I've also teamed up with I put it on the I've teamed up with Bravestorming as well, which is a company out of Hong Kong, and they've created these amazing little brainstorming tools, right? Add
Love them.
spotlight.
I really love the visual of them.
Yeah, so they're these little magnets, right? Oh, it's not quite big enough. I'll have to figure out the setup. That's why we do tests in advance to ventures, to see what exactly
Yeah.
works. So anyway, you have these little magnetic things that you can actually, they're erasable, so you can write on them. And then this is like a steel magnetic board. This is called a thinker board. And what we're able actually to do is take this model, take the four piece, the blue sky strategy model, strategy whiteboard, and then convert that into this roadmap. And we can do it now with these little magnetic type things that we can adjust and we can play. So we can move these things around, I guess is what I'm trying to say, on this little board, which is really cool. I'll do a better demo tomorrow. But anyway, they're coming on to speak as well,
Cool.
Alex, and to show us how they can actually use these. They're called thinker boards and movie racers and that sort of thing. So that's going to be another prize that we're giving away. It's just so exciting. There's so much that we're going to talk
There's
about.
so much to say.
Yeah,
We better hold it back
yeah.
for the big launch. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So they can win some prizes. Go to bits.ly/ oh, I better get this right. Don't want to goof on that one. I'll put
Yeah.
actually it's in the description. So if you're watching it on the live stream, just go to the description. It's right there. It's I'll have it in just a second. Bits.ly/ grand opening 2022. I made it pretty easy. So bit.ly/ grand opening 2022. That gives you the Zoom link, right? Which then will send you information on how to enter the draws and the details on the event and that sort of thing. Or you can go to strategystorming.co, and there's an entry form right there. You'll be able to see
Pops
where
right
to
up.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll be able to see where to go and how to enter and that sort of thing as well. So love to see you. Love to
Yeah.
come and chat and ask questions too about how do we actually use strategy. And that's ultimately what I'm going to be asking all the guests is, what's important, how do we win, what are the three priorities we should focus on, what's working, what's not, those kinds of things, so that we can really kind of get a lot of takeaways from all the speakers. So
Awesome.
including Tony. Yeah,
Looking forward
Tony
to
the
it.
man.
Yes. There you go.
All right,
Well,
well,
it's hard to
let's
follow you, Doyle.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay. Thanks, Tony. Really looking forward to it. And for everybody who's watching on live, if you have any comments or questions, please just type them in the comments. And would love to see you there. If you're able to share it, please join us as well. Go to bit.ly/ grand opening 2022 as well. Thanks, Tony. It's going to be an exciting day. I'm going to have to
You bet, Doyle.
bring a case of Red Bull as well. Maybe they'll sponsor the show.
Maybe they should.